Hey Martin, I was just looking at your logo, and I'm going to kind of give you some feedback and show you what I think you could do with it. If I can find it. Um, Boy, it's right here. So I'm going to open up the color one. Okay, so we can see, here it is. I was kind of thinking if we highlighted this and went to the properties panel, so I might need to click that on here. You have it at 547 in the tracking, which is the space between the letters. I think if you brought it down to 200, that would be a good amount. I think if I go into the appearance panel, I can show that it shows that you put an effect of an arc on it, which I like, but the box is kind of tilted weird, so I'm going to make the box stay flat, basically. Probably something like that. And then let's just highlight all of this. I think we could make this a little bit thicker by creating a stroke of the same color. I did look in the properties. Gosh, where does this keep going? In the properties panel, and it looks like there's no black. It's only bold. So there's no other options there to make it bolder. So you can just do it by hand somewhat by adding on that stroke. And 1 point seems to be pretty good. There's some adjustment that maybe could be made further with this, but I think that's not bad. And then I think with this we just need to bump it down just a little bit so that this isn't floating away from itself, I guess. So I noticed this is different than this, and I know you added this on later on, but with this one on your logo, when I'm looking at it, sometimes I can see little white lines. So if I go in here, I can see little white lines just barely right here and here. So we can just make this one shape by using the in Illustrator by using the Pathfinder tool. And actually I have it open right here. So, but if you go to Window, Pathfinder, that'll bring up this little panel here. And if you hover over these, it tells you what it does. So really you can just select this thing, and we actually want to unite it. So this first option will work really well to unite those shapes all into one shape. So now you can see it's all one clean shape. And I know you added this extra bit on down here. So what I'll do is I'll grab that separate. I think you did that maybe with the paintbrush tool or something. So we'll do Object, Path, Outline Stroke, and then we'll bring that together with the shape tool here, and that didn't really work very well. So I think you were just trying to make it more I don't know, like visually balanced, because if this isn't in there, then it starts to get not as balanced looking, which I can see why you did what you did. Another way to get around that was you could potentially just use the eraser tool and just erase this little bit here, maybe like, you know, kind of try and mimic the other side a little bit. And that might actually help too, to just do it that way. It'd be a little easier than dealing with this chunk here that's kind of awkward. And so I think that that's looking pretty decent. I think maybe this could even be the same color as, you know, the NNSA or whatever, NNSA. I'm not liking this font, and I can't tell you why, but I just don't think it's the best one that you could go with. Like something, a sans serif might be nice. Actually, this one's not too bad. Something kind of bold, and maybe even if I click on these three things in that properties panel under the character area, I can get a few more options here, and I can make everything capital, all caps here if I click on these two T's. So basically, you know, in the properties panel under character, you just have to click on these three buttons to get more options, and then the all caps button looks like two capital T's, and we can do that. And I think maybe making it all capital is nice. Of course, that made it too big, but we can always bring it down in size. let's get it the same width pretty much as the mountains are. So that might make it 10.5 or 10.75, somewhere around there. Maybe 10.25. Push return to make that stick. That's pretty good. So maybe something like that would be good. And actually, I don't even know if this is something you could do, but you could make another box under here and just extend it and actually make this come on top of it. You can use the arrange button in the properties panel to bring it on top, but you could actually make the fill color white, and then we could size it down further. We don't want to make it too small. I'm going to center it too, and then put that right here, maybe something like that. And this box isn't quite lining up to the edge of your graphic perfectly, but you might have to zoom way in to do that. Maybe something like that would be pretty good. There's kind of a corner on this box that I'm not loving, but let's see. Sometimes it helps to just zoom in to get these things to actually work very well. So maybe I could just knock that. Oop, bring it down here. There, maybe something like that. And then we could unite these using the Pathfinder too. Oh, I don't know if that little line is probably not going to be a good thing, actually, to have that line. So I'll have to just bump it down one more and then use the Pathfinder to make one big shape. And that might be not a bad solution. So maybe something like that. It looks a little bit bolder. It's a little bit more balanced, and it's not, things aren't so far apart that they're looking like they're floating away from each other. That was the main thing about your logo. I think it's a nice logo. It just needed it to be bolder. Some of the fonts needed to be refined a little bit, and stuff just needed to be brought together a little bit more. And I think that this is like, I mean, a decent solution to the issues that, you know, I was seeing with the logo. So, I mean, maybe we could try this and maybe even put a stroke of 2 on that just to make it even bolder and see what they think of this logo after these changes. I think this font is Soyel XB Extra Bold. So I would say I'm going to give you this video. I hope that you can kind of follow along to it. I know I went kind of fast with stuff, but you can try to follow along to it, get it looking decent in the color version, and then you can save out a black and white and just change all of these colors to black and leave this white. And so you can have a black and white version to show. And I think it's a really strong logo. I think it just needed a few more refinements. Good job.